and the third one was transfer RNA or tRNA. Now what you need to focus, so you will get very common question always in the exam, okay, what are the three different types of RNA, write a note on types of RNA, anything like it's very common question. So तुम लोग को क्या फोकस करना है, फर्स्ट तो उनका फंक्शन क्या है, why we need mRNA, why we need rRNA, why we need tRNA. एक ही टाइप का, जैसे डीएनए एक ही टाइप का है वैसे आरएनए भी एक ही टाइप का क्यों नहीं है, राइट ना, इट्स वैलिड क्वेश्चन. जैसे कि डीएनए हम लोगों को पता है क्योंकि yeah, though it differs in the forms when it's come to organellar DNA like the mitochondria or chloroplast का जो रहता है वैसे. But apart from that one exception, I don't think there are any different types of DNA in a single cell. Okay. If you go for different species, different types of animals, as I mentioned last time also, there are all different types of DNA as well. A type, A, C type, A, Z type. But the very common one is the B type, जो हम लोग ने एक्सप्लेन, जो मैंने तुम लोग को एक्सप्लेन किया था और जो हम लोग पढ़ रहे हैं एज अ डबल हेलिकल मॉडल. Okay. After completing this, I will also give you a short brief about the Watson and Crick model of a DNA. Why it is important. But details about Watson and Crick you will be studying in your 12th night. Okay. So till now, if you are having any doubts about any questions, like any topic we have covered till now, कुछ होगा, कुछ पूछना है, कुछ बताना है, you can go ahead right now. If no, then I will finish up the rRNA part, like the types of RNA part. Okay, so I hope there are no questions. If you are having questions, you can just interrupt in between without creating any kind of mess. Okay, so I hope you remember the simple properties of RNA. That is, it is a single stranded. उसके पास difference क्या है? It has a ribose sugar and there is a replacement of thymine with uracil. These are few important rules. These are few important characteristics of an RNA. Okay, so there are three types of RNA, and now we are going to study the very first and one of the very important one type of RNA, that is a mRNA, जिसका नाम है messenger RNA. Now, why messenger RNA? Because it actually carries a message. Message of what? Message of what a particular DNA or a particular gene contains. तो तुम लोग को मैंने एक बार सेंट्रल डोगमा जैसे कुछ तो बताया था. एनीवन रिमेम्बर्स कुछ ऐसा होता है सेंट्रल डोगमा?
Yes.
What is central dogma? मतलब I don't want any details, बस उस क्या था, मतलब what do you know, what do you understood about central dogma? अगर किसी ने पूछा central dogma.
Instruction of DNA.
Protein synthesis के time.
Okay, so I had two statements: instruction of DNA and the second was protein synthesis. Both of you are right, I can say, but partially. So exactly what? मतलब okay, अगर instruction देना है DNA को तो क्या instruction देना है, और अगर प्रोटीन सिंथेसाइज करना है तो किससे करना और कैसे करना है?
फंक्शनल प्रोडक्ट का इंस्ट्रक्शन देता है.
फंक्शनल प्रोडक्ट का इंस्ट्रक्शन देता है. ओके, एनीथिंग एल्स इन अ सिंपल वर्ड्स, मतलब कैसे देगा वो? एनी आइडिया? किसको देगा इंस्ट्रक्शन? वो डीएनए को देगा या
DNA? Yes.
Okay, so I will tell you. Yeah, anyone wants to add any comment or tell anything about central dogma? So basically, central dogma is a kind of universal law, I can say. Universal law in a sense because it is strictly followed. वो वैसा के वैसा ही चलता है. What it says, the DNA, which is genetic material, it's converted into mRNA first, and the mRNA is then converted into, or we can say translated into protein. Okay, so that's why this particular process of protein synthesis, as Sharon just said, the protein synthesis is what? But protein synthesis from what? It is synthesis of protein from DNA through mRNA. So there are two important processes actually involved in this particular process, because it is a two-stage process, right? DNA to mRNA, mRNA to protein. So it is a two-stage process, and two important reactions, or we can say pathways, are involved, and they are transcription and translation. Okay, now telling you about transcription and translation will be a very big task right now, and I don't want to go in detail. So what you need to keep in mind, what is central dogma, वो क्या है, and there are two important process. ट्रांसलेशन एंड ट्रांसक्रिप्शन. ओके, यहाँ पे मैं इसको स्टॉप कर रहा हूँ एंड वी विल नाउ अंडरस्टैंड, ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड एग्जैक्टली व्हाट हैपेंस इन ट्रांसक्रिप्शन ट्रांसलेशन. वो हम लोग नेक्स्ट ईयर देखेंगे व्हेन यू विल स्टार्ट योर 12th स्टैंडर्ड. ओके, जब हम लोग मॉलिक्यूलर बेसिस हम लोग डीएनए को और डिटेल में पढ़ेंगे एंड ऑल्सो दैट विल बी अ करेक्ट टाइम. बट आई होप यू अंडरस्टूड दैट डीएनए इज कन्वर्टेड इनटू एमआरएनए. इट मींस डीएनए का जो इंफॉर्मेशन है, डीएनए व्हाट डीएनए हैज ऑल द इंफॉर्मेशन अबाउट द एनिमल. मतलब मेरी आंखें कैसी होंगी, मेरी आंखों का कलर कैसे होगा, माय hair should be straight or curly, my hair should be gray or black or brown or purple. All these things, all this information कैसे पता चलता है कि इस बार how will the like how it is decided कि किसी की आंखें रेड होनी चाहिए, किसी की ब्लू होनी चाहिए, कैसे होनी चाहिए? It is because of DNA. The DNA contains all the information, which is because of the combination of the parental डीएनए बेसिकली. तो इसलिए ऐसे ही हम पेरेंट्स के कैरेक्टर्स का एक कॉम्बिनेशन बनता है, रिकॉम्बिनेशन बनता होता है एंड देन वी गेट डिफरेंट सेट ऑफ कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स. ओके, सो दिस जॉब, तो नाउ ऑब्वियसली नो वन नीड टू नो कि ओके अगर मेरा डीएनए बोल रहा है कि डीएनए के पास इंफॉर्मेशन अबाउट अ पर्टिकुलर प्रोटीन, देन द बॉडी नीड्स टू प्रिपेयर दैट प्रोटीन और एल्स इट विल नेवर गेट सिंथेसाइज्ड. एग्जांपल देना चाहूँ तो अगर मेरे बॉडी के पास पेप्सिन का अगर जीन ही नहीं होता डीएनए में, then my body will never produce a pepsin which is basically involved in digestive system. तो अगर पेप्सिन ही नहीं बनेगा तो कुछ भी डाइजेशन नहीं हो पाएगा ठीक से. सो इन अ सिमिलर वे, सो ये पेप्सिन कब बनेगा? जब पेप्सिन का जीन विल बी प्रेजेंट इनटू डीएनए. सिंपल लैंग्वेज में बोलना चाहूँ तो जब पेप्सिन बनाने का रेसिपी और इंफॉर्मेशन डीएनए के पास रहेगा तब जाके ही बॉडी पेप्सिन बना पाएगा. ओके, so this information actually directly cannot be converted into protein. ऐसा नहीं कि डीएनए के पास जो भी इंफॉर्मेशन है डायरेक्टली हम लोग प्रोटीन में कन्वर्ट कर सकते हैं. There is a system for everything, and our body is the best system which is working universally. So body क्या करेगा? पहले डीएनए का इंफॉर्मेशन चेक करेगा कि ओके डीएनए के पास इंफॉर्मेशन क्या क्या है. सो लेट्स से द डीएनए का जो इंफॉर्मेशन रहेगा फॉर पेप्सिन, दैट विल बी देन transcripted into a particular message कि हाँ DNA contains information for synthesis of pepsin or any other protein, and this particular information is called as mRNA. Okay, and this conversion of DNA into mRNA, the process is called as transcription. Okay, and that's why we say that the RNA which is synthesized is a messenger RNA because it contains all the genetic information. ओके कि प्रोटीन को कैसे बनाना है, कैसे उसको अरेंज करना है. वी ऑल नो प्रोटीन इज मेड अप ऑफ अमीनो एसिड्स एंड इवन दो देयर आर ओनली 20 अमीनो एसिड्स, देयर आर thousands of proteins. So even though a small set of amino acids can arrange them differently, वो अपने आप को अलग अलग वे में अरेंज करता है, डिफरेंट सीक्वेंस फॉर्म करता है, and that's how we get different variety of proteins, right? So this will give us information about the how a particular protein should be synthesized, उसका amino acid sequence कैसे होना चाहिए. Okay, so this mRNA which is synthesized from our DNA, which is a double-stranded structure, is actually a single linear stranded structure. Okay, so you can see here, this is a typical representation of mRNA. ऐसा दिखता है वो. उसका one end is 5' which is called as initiation codon and the other end is a termination codon. Now I know तुम लोग बोलोगे कि अभी तक तो इसने कभी लाइफ में कोडन का जिक्र तक नहीं किया. Now he is saying something codon. Now what is this codon? So actually this is kind of drawback of your textbook on name of, मतलब उन लोगों ने थोड़ा उसको एडवांस करने के चक्कर में पूरा इधर का उधर कर दिया है. Never mind, but we need to study everything. So codon is what? Codon is nothing but a set of nucleotides. So please note it down. Codon is a set of 3 nucleotides, okay, which will code for a particular amino acids. I'm repeating, codon is a set of 3 nucleotides which will code for a particular amino acid. So one codon will code for one amino acid. 2 codons will code for 2 amino acids. 3 codons will code for 3 amino acids. So there are 2 types of codon, mainly initiator codon and the termination codon. Initiation codon is a codon which is always present at the beginning of a mRNA. अगर इनिशिएशन कोडन नहीं होगा तो mRNA का मतलब कुछ काम ही नहीं होगा, बिकॉज there is a law, मतलब it is fixed, अगर because the आगे का जो प्रोसेसिंग है mRNA to protein, उसके लिए इनिशिएशन कोडन हमारा बहुत बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. So अगर इनिशिएशन कोडन is missing or it is not present, then that mRNA will not be processed by a body. It means for defect है and then it will again reprocess it to get a particular initiation codon. तो यहाँ पे actually a second process called as translation begins, which is a process by which a protein is synthesized from an mRNA. Okay, so that is about the initiation codon, which is always present at the beginning of a mRNA. And there is a termination codon. Termination codon matlab it is a codon which will not code for any amino acid. Okay, I repeat, termination codon is a codon which will not code for any amino acid. That's why it will terminate the process. So you can see यहाँ पे initiation codon चालू किया, इसके बाद यहाँ पे codon 2 आएगा, 3 आएगा, 4 आएगा, 5 आएगा, 6 आएगा, 7 like way. All these codons are actually a coding for a particular amino acids, and they will help in a particular process. But this process needs to stop, right? ऐसा नहीं कि एक बार मैंने चालू किया तो वो it will get continued for forever and forever and forever. No, it has to stop at a point, and this stop is actually, this interruption is actually obtained by the stop codon or a termination codon. तो ये जो termination codon है, इसको हम लोग stop codon भी बोलते हैं, या फिर हम लोग उसको nonsense codon भी बोलते हैं. Why nonsense? Because it is not coding for any amino acid. Did you understand what I just said about initiation codon and termination codon? Yes, no?
Yes.
Yeah. So I hope you understood. Just try to understand. I know थोड़ा सा difficult जाएगा because
सर इनिशिएशन कोडन रिपीट करो ना.
Yeah, initiation codon is a codon which is important, which is present at the starting of a mRNA. तो mRNA जहाँ पे भी start होगा, उसका जो starting का एक codon होगा, that will be initiation codon. Okay, starting का एक codon मतलब starting के 3 न्यूक्लियोटाइड जो रहेंगे वो उसका they are fixed. I will tell you कौन से रहते हैं. Starting के 3 न्यूक्लियोटाइड are A, U, G. अगर वो 3 नहीं रहेंगे, AUG मतलब एडेनाइन, यूरासिल एंड ग्वानिन. AUG इज अ स्टार्ट कोडन, एंड जितने भी जीन्स है अपने बॉडी में, जितने भी प्रोटीन है, सबके mRNA में दिस इज फिक्स. स्टार्टिंग कोडन और इनिशिएशन कोडन इज AUG, which codes for methionine. Okay, it is a codon which is present at the beginning of an mRNA, and यहाँ पे the process will start. Which process? Process of formation of a protein or a protein synthesis by the mechanism of translation, जहाँ पे हम लोग mRNA का information protein formation में use करते हैं. Is it clear now?
Yes sir.
Yeah. So now my question is, I am having a mRNA of a 30 nucleotides. Can you please tell me the number of codons it will have?
10.
Very good. So it is a set of 3, right? So that's how we do. So you will get questions on these also. अभी तुम लोग को मैं ज़्यादा डेप्थ क्वेश्चन नहीं दे रहा हूँ because it is not required, but you need to keep this in mind. This can be a MCQ type question. Okay, so that's about the structure point of view. Now these particular codons are generally not that abundant in a body. They just contribute to the 3% of the total RNA. तो जितने भी total RNA का composition है अपने पास, उसका सिर्फ 3% is a mRNA. बाकी जो भी है वो rRNA and tRNA में जाता है. Okay, its molecular weight is very high though, because proteins are generally macromolecules. So उनका जो information रहता है, that is also a kind of large. So that's why its molecular weight is generally in a millions. One of, like they have mentioned million, but generally it goes till 5 lakh Dalton. Okay, proteins का weight हम लोग generally Dalton में calculate करते हैं. Do you know no Dalton to gram, Dalton to kg का conversion? Any idea about Dalton to kg, Dalton to gram कैसे करते हैं? If no, note it down and find it out. सब कुछ spoon feeding नहीं होगा. Okay, you need to find out how to convert Dalton into gram or kilogram. Because protein का जब भी तुम लोग को कभी भी कोई information आएगा, they will give the weight in a Dalton. They will tell you it is a 50 Dalton protein, it is a 100 Dalton protein. So you need to understand what is the conversion factor. Okay, hope I am clear with this. Okay, so it is having a very high molecular weight around in millions, and इसका जो साइज रहता है ना that will be variable. तो जैसे कि मैंने बोला कि कुछ प्रोटीन छोटे रहेंगे, उसका what can I say, मतलब उसका mRNA भी छोटा रहता है. So let's say I am having a protein with 60 amino acids. Okay, so now tell me what will be the number of nucleotides. I am having a protein with 60 amino acids, which is composed of 60 amino acids. What will be the number of nucleotides? What happened?
60.
Sorry, Sharon, वापस. हेलो, am I audible? क्या हुआ? अभी तो तुम लोगों ने आंसर किया मुझे एकदम अच्छे से. I just
180.
Yes. How?
60 into 3 किया. 3 पेयर में अमीनो एसिड होता है ना.
या 3 पेयर में नहीं बोलेंगे निकिता.
3 पेयर का.
हाँ, थ्री न्यूक्लियोटाइड्स का एक कोडॉन होता है और एक कोडॉन एक अमीनो एसिड को कोड करता है. So if I am saying there are 60 amino acids, मतलब there are 60 codons. There are 60 codons, मतलब there will be 60 into 3 nucleotides. Clear? Others, she is right. 180. 60 into 3. समझा या नहीं समझा?
नहीं समझा सर.
Okay, Anuj, no worries. So I will tell you this again. Okay, but at a later point. अभी के लिए let me finish up this, but I will surely make you understand exactly कैसे ये सब होता है. I will put up some questions and then I will try to make you all understand.
Okay.
For now, just keep in mind what is codon, what is initiation codon, and what is termination codon. I hope you understood the definition at least.
Yes sir.
Yes.
Yeah, good. So don't worry about other things. Now ये जो mRNA है basically, which is a mRNA which is carrying the information to form a protein, or you can say polypeptide. This mRNA is called as cistron. Okay, what is called as cistron? It is basically unit of transcription, we call it. Okay, so it is a cistron which contains the message, or we can say information, to form a complete polypeptide chain. Okay, this is called as cistron, and it has a 5' end at one end, like 5' at one end, and it terminates at the 3' end. So this is a typically a structure and the function of mRNA. It carries genetic information for protein synthesis. First thing, it is a linear molecule. It accounts for 3% of the total RNA. Its molecular weight is very high, generally in the millions. Okay, the length of mRNA, which actually carries the information to form a polypeptide, is called as cistron. Okay, its size can be variable, like I mentioned. For small protein it can be small, for large protein it can be large, so it can be variable. And it always runs in a 5' to 3' direction. Matlab iska one end always it always begins at the 5' end and ends at the 3'. Okay, so I hope you understood these 5 points अच्छे से. If you are having any doubt in these 5 points, let me know right now. If no, so we can continue. So now that was all about the only one, like a very important one type of the mRNA. Okay, then the second important type comes, that is the rRNA. rRNA सब लोगों ने पढ़ा है. कहाँ पर सुना है हम लोगों ने rRNA? मैंने already explain किया था. In which part have you heard about rRNA? क्या होता है rRNA? क्यों होता है rRNA? सबको सब कुछ याद कैसे नहीं है रहता?
राइबोसोम न्यूक्लियस
Synthesis होता है.
सर न्यूक्लियस में.
Okay. So I had few things and I'm okay with that. So ribosome सुना, and nucleus and nucleolus सुना. So very good. So it's like सब लोग मिलके हम लोग एक टॉपिक बना सकते हैं, बट आई होप सब लोग मिलके सब कुछ लिख भी पाएंगे एग्जाम में. सो डोंट बी दिस ग्रुपिज्म अपने एग्जाम में नहीं दिखा सकते. सो यू नीड टू नो ऑल दिस थिंग्स. ओके, बट नो वरीज, एटलीस्ट यू आर ट्राइंग टू
Carry genetic information from DNA to ribosome.
कौन कौन करता है ये?
RNA, rRNA.
Okay. Yeah,
नहीं
no worries.
RNA, sorry.
No, it's okay. It's confusing, I understand. So don't worry about that. Okay. So let's make it more simple. The word RNA मतलब ribosomal RNA. This is particularly a type of RNA which makes up the ribosomes. If you remember the ribosomes we had studied, ribosome किससे बनता है? There are two components in ribosomes. Can you please tell me what are two important components of ribosome? कंपोनेंट इन सेंस वो किससे बनता है, किस किस से राइबोसोम बनता है? एक तो मैंने बता दिया आरआरएनए से बनता है. तो सेकंड
Protein.
Protein and RNA.
yes. So the ribosomes are basically made up of proteins and rRNA. So this rRNA part, like rRNA actually mainly involved in like as a part of ribosomes, which are also known as what are ribosomes? इनका फंक्शन क्या है? राइबोसोम्स किस लिए काम आते हैं? क्या है? Protein factories. Ribosomes are protein factories, right? They are
Yeah.
known as protein factories because they are actually involved in protein synthesis process. Okay, so this rRNA is actually more of like that more of involved in such process like the protein synthesis. It will form about 50 to 60% part of a ribosome, which will actually involve in a protein synthesis process. Okay, अगर हम लोग इसका contribution देखें along from the total RNA composition, it is the most abundant type of RNA in a cell. This is can be again another type of MCQ, which is the most abundant type of RNA in a cell. So it is rRNA, which contributes around 80 to 90% of a total cellular RNA. Okay, very important one and one of the most abundant RNA. Okay, it is synthesized in nucleus and to be more precise, nucleolus. If you remember, न्यूक्लियस में ये सब बनता है, हमने ये पढ़ा है इन अ सेल स्ट्रक्चर एंड ऑर्गेनाइजेशन. ओके, एंड वाज डिस्कवर्ड बाय कुरलैंड इन 1960. after that we can see this is typical structure. Even this rRNA, I'm sorry, this rRNA is also a single stranded structure. Okay, it is also a single stranded structure. One end is a 5 prime, another end is a 3 prime. But what you will see now, the rRNA is actually having a particular structure so that in a particular region, wherever they find their complementary pair, they will start forming the hydrogen bonding. So the intrachain matlab within the same strand, within the same chain, they show a kind of base pairing, and which actually gives them stability. Okay, so you can see this is a typical single stranded rRNA. So in this particular region, there is some kind of complementary base pairing. So okay, they generally just fold upon itself in a way that जहाँ पे भी उनको complementary base pairing करने का मौका मिले कर दो, because it gives them stability. Okay, so that's all about the rRNA. It is a part of ribosomes, which is very important component for protein synthesis. Okay, apart from these two important types, now next comes in a picture the third one, that is a tRNA. Okay, so tRNA, the name itself, transfer RNA. Now it is actually involved in transfer of something. The way something Nikita was saying, transfer. So it is more of applicable to this thing. Why? Because this tRNA, इसका काम ही है कि साइटोप्लाज्म, which is a pool of all the metabolic components, जिसके पास शुगर्स रहते हैं, अमीनो एसिड्स रहते हैं, सब कुछ रहता है. तो ये tRNA का क्या जॉब है कि mRNA की इंफॉर्मेशन में जो अमीनो एसिड्स का लिस्ट दिया है ना, वो सबको साइटोप्लाज्म से लेके आने का. ओके, इट्स लाइक साइटोप्लाज्म इज अ दुकान, वी कैन से इट्स अ शॉप. ओके, mRNA is a list given by your mom to get all the things from the shop, but in a very strict way she has warned you कि जो सीक्वेंस में मैंने लिख के दिया है वही सीक्वेंस में तुम्हें लेके आना है. Okay, so the sequence is fixed. So if mRNA लिखा है पहले methionine है, फिर arginine है, फिर lysine है, फिर leucine है, like that, the sequence of amino acids. So tRNA has to brought all these amino acids from the cytoplasm to form a particular protein. So since the tRNA is involved in transfer of this particular amino acids, it is called as transfer RNA. Okay, from structure point of view, if I want to tell you, it is a smallest of all the three RNAs from like weight wise and the size wise as well. It just contains 70 to 80 nucleotides. Okay, it is also known as sRNA. Please note it down. I don't know यहाँ पे ये mention किया है या नहीं. I think it's not mentioned here. It is also called as sRNA. sRNA मतलब soluble RNA. It is the smallest RNA. It is a soluble RNA. Okay, so that's about tRNA. नाउ एग्जैक्टली क्या करता है टीआरएनए की वो सीक्वेंस मतलब वो कैसे वो एक एक को चुन चुन के लेके आते हैं अमीनो एसिड्स को हाउ देयर हैज टू बी सम काइंड ऑफ मैकेनिज्म राइट सो दिस टीआरएनए हैज अ वेरी स्पेशलाइज्ड स्ट्रक्चर which will actually carry a particular amino acid which will actually carry a particular amino acid. So let's say my protein contains a sequence of methionine, lysine, leucine वगैरह ऐसा. So what it will do, it will सबसे पहले get a methionine amino acid, it will attach. उसके बाद वो दूसरा फिर वो जाएगा आगे. Then second tRNA will come with the second amino acid. Third tRNA will come with the third amino acid. ऐसे कर करके एक एक tRNA एक एक amino acid को लेके आता है and they are finally joined together to form a protein. But ये कैसे होता है? It will just read the information from mRNA. तो mRNA के basis अगर mRNA ने बोला ये लेके आ तो वो लेके आएगा. वो बोला कि methionine amino acid लेके आओ, it will bring methionine. If the mRNA reads कि अभी कोई लेट्स से वैलिन लेके आ, इट विल ब्रिंग वैलिन. आई होप यू रिमेंबर वैलिन, मेथियोनिन, आर्जिनिन, ये सब क्या है अमीनो एसिड्स के नाम है जो मैंने लास्ट टाइम तुम लोग को दिखाए थे 20 अमीनो एसिड्स. तो ऐसा रैंडम कुछ भूल मत जाओ कि ये क्या बोल रहा है कैसे बोल रहा है. सो दीज आर नथिंग बट द नेम ऑफ अमीनो एसिड्स. ओके, सो बट फॉर ऑल दिस थिंग्स टू वर्क, ये सब काम होने के लिए इट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर द tRNA to have a specialized structure. Okay, so there are two models of tRNA structure which was actually proposed. One was hairpin model and the second one is a cloverleaf model. Okay, hairpin model is not that acceptable, but cloverleaf model is very much acceptable and studied universally. Okay, so as I mentioned, it is also a single stranded RNA. Almost all the RNAs are single stranded only. Only few RNA molecules are in a double stranded form. और वो कहाँ पे होते हैं? Anyone? Where will you find double stranded RNA? I don't want name anything, but just कहाँ पे हो सकते हैं? What do you think? कहाँ पे होते हैं?
Cytoplasm.
ना, sorry. In eukaryotic cells, RNA is always single stranded. So double stranded RNA.
virus.
Yes, they are present in viruses. Okay, not all viruses, even in there it is the exception. Only few viruses shows presence of double stranded RNA as a genetic material. Okay, so but otherwise everywhere RNA is a single stranded. Okay, and they have a particular way, but a particular sequence. Okay, so and they also shows a complementary base sequence wherever possible. Okay, but in case of tRNA, the complementary base pair ऐसे way में होता है that actually gives it's a clover leaf like structure. Clover leaf, I don't know how many of you know what is clover leaf. अगर अभी मेरे को ना उसका हिंदी या नाम याद नहीं आ रहा है, but what I can tell you, समथिंग तुम लोगों ने सबने व्हाट्सएप का आपका अपना वो एक टिपिकल पत्ता वाला जो हम लोग दशहरा पे यूज होते हैं. हाँ, दशहरा पे देखते हैं ना, वो यू मस्ट हैव सीन दैट टिपिकल इमोजी काइंड ऑफ थिंग जो
सर वो सोना बोलते हैं, सोना.
हाँ वैसे मतलब ते मला माहिती आहे त्याला सोनं म्हणतात किंवा त्याला आपट्याची पानं म्हणतात, बट इट इज नॉट एक्झॅक्टली लाईक आपट्याचं पान. इट इज थोडा डिफरंट दॅन आपट्याचं पान, बट यू कॅन सर्च इट, यू विल फाइंड इट आउट ऑनलाइन. सो इट इज अ क्लोवर लीफ लाइक स्ट्रक्चर which means like three ऐसे petals जैसा स्ट्रक्चर होता है. Okay, so that is called as clover leaf, and this RNA actually looks like a clover leaf, so that's why they had given is the name clover leaf model. Okay, now what this clover leaf model actually consists of? Okay, it contains 4 different regions. Okay, it is actually fully made up of nucleotides. Okay, but what is job what is structure says, it contains 4 region, or we can say 4 parts of a tRNA. The 4 parts of the tRNA includes DHU arm, or you can say it as a D loop. Okay, so now you can see my cursor. Okay, so please look at the cursor. This is a D loop, or you can say DHU arm. DHU stands for a dihydroxyuracil loop. Okay, so this is a part of a RNA which is actually these are basically due to presence of a specialized न्यूक्लियोटाइड. सो अभी तक हम लोगों ने क्या सुना था, यूरासिल सुना था, थायमिन होता नहीं, यूरासिल सुना था, एडेनाइन सुना था, गुआनिन सुना था. बट दिस टीआरएनए आल्सो कंटेन्स द डाइहाइड्रोक्सीयूरासिल. दिस इज सम काइंड ऑफ डेरिवेटाइज मतलब और डिराइव्ड काइंड ऑफ न्यूक्लियोटाइड जिसको थोड़ा मॉडिफाइड रहता है. ओके, सो दैट्स व्हाई इट इज कॉल्ड एज डीएचएम. द अदर वन इज कॉल्ड एज अमीनो एसिड बाइंडिंग साइट. ओके, यू कैन सी अमीनो एसिड बाइंडिंग. तो अगर mRNA में लिखा रहेगा कि अभी जाके मिथ्योनिन को लेके आ, mRNA रीड्स क्योंकि यू नीड टू ब्रिंग मिथ्योनिन, तो यहाँ पे जो रीजन है यहाँ पे एक्चुअली अमीनो एसिड बाइंड होता है एंड इट विल एक्चुअली कम टू द प्लेस जहाँ पे प्रोटीन सिंथेसिस हो रहा है, which is mainly in a cytoplasm. Okay, then there is known as something called as anticodon loop. Okay, now I told you what is codon. Now I will tell you what is anticodon. कोडॉन का जो उल्टा रहता है दैट इज एंटीकोडॉन. अभी तुम लोग बोलोगे क्या पागल जैसा कुछ भी बोलते जा रहे हैं. वेट, इफ आई एम सेइंग कि कोडॉन का जो इंफॉर्मेशन है, लेट्स से यहाँ पे ये एंटीकोडॉन रीजन है, दिस इज एंटीकोडॉन लूप और एंटीकोडॉन रीजन. ओके, इट कंटेन्स 3 nucleotides. Again, anticodon is also a set of 3 nucleotides. But why it is called as anticodon? Because it contains a sequence complementary, or we can say anti to the codon. तो अगर मेरे कोडॉन में A रहेगा, what will be there in anticodon? Complementary base pairing. What will be there in anticodon?
T.
T रहेगा या क्या रहेगा?
G.
G रहेगा. एक से था G, कब से?
U.
Yes, it will have U because it's a RNA. RNA में T होता ही नहीं है, तो it will have
Uracil.
Yeah, uracil. Then अगर यहाँ पे मैंने कोडॉन में C है, तो what will be there in
G.
and अगर वापस मेरे कोडॉन में U है, तो what will become in the anticodon?
A.
Yeah, so it will like that. So based on what is the sequence of codon, based on that the anticodon sequence is present, and based on this anticodon, so based on that is actually identify कि कौन से अमीनो एसिड को लेके आना है, because जो कोडॉन रहेगा उसका complementary sequence यहाँ पे मिल जाएगा उसको, and based on that it will process and it will get a particular amino acid, and वो amino acid कहाँ से आता है, it will bind to the 3' end of the tRNA, which is also called as the amino acid attachment site. Okay, so this is called as amino acid attachment site. Then there is a variable loop which is having a very variable, like its function is not really well known, but it's there in a particular, it's like a lump, or we can say it's kind of extra part which is present in a tRNA. And then finally the T loop. T loop का भी कुछ तो T-Psi-C, okay, actually it is T-Psi-C, okay, but they just have given T loop. The T is also a derived kind of nucleotide which is present in a tRNA. So that's how there are 3 important loops, you can say. 3 important loops कौन से हैं? D loop, anticodon loop, T loop, and then there is a 4th one which is a variable loop. Okay, and it contains different nucleotides. That's for the name, like D मतलब dehydroxyuridine, T मतलब T-Psi-C नाम है उसका. I know you will not get it, but I'm just telling you. Just try to read about it if you want to read in detail, or else in a 12th you will be studying anyway, so don't worry about that. And then anticodon, you need to be very clear about the codon anticodon concept, because based on this only the लोग का 12 जाने वाला है. So I'm happy इन लोगों ने सब 11th में ही डाल दिया है, but I'm also worried कि तुम लोग ये सब कैसे. I hope you are understanding. कुछ bouncer नहीं जा रहा है. If you are not understanding, please ask it 1 time, 10 times, 50 times. It's okay, but try to understand things. Okay. So with this, this is a typical structure of tRNA. So as I mentioned, in the anticodon loop of a tRNA, 3 unpaired nucleotides are present, which are called as anticodon, which will pair with the codon present on a mRNA. So that's what just now you studied, right? कि अगर codon में A रहेगा तो anticodon में U रहेगा and like that. So this is the way the anticodon concept work. Okay, and the specific amino acid is attached at the 3' end in the acceptor stem of the clover leaf of the tRNA. मतलब यहाँ पे तो जैसे ही वो यहाँ पे रीड करेगा, it will bring the particular tRNA. So that's how it maintains the specificity. उसको कैसे समझ जाएगा ना कि कौन से tRNA को पहले जाना है, कौन से tRNA को बाद में जाना है. They don't know this thing. So this anticodon codon का जो interaction है, that actually gives this specificity in the protein synthesis. और ऐसे thousands of tRNA will come and they will brought a particular amino acid, वो amino acid को वहाँ पे connect करते हैं and then they will go back for the next job. It's not like एक बार आने के बाद वो कभी वापस जाती नहीं. No, their job is to just bring the amino acid. एक बार जो amino acid attach हो गया, they can just release the amino acid and the tRNA is again released for the next cycle कि वो वापस जाके किसी और को लेके आ सकता है. So that's how the tRNA do the transfer of amino acid. Okay, I hope you understood the types of RNA, that is mRNA, which actually carries the message for transcription, or we can say it actually carries the message of for genetic information basically, which will be useful for protein synthesis. rRNA, which is a main part of ribosomes, which are nothing but the protein factories, which will help in the protein synthesis, and the tRNA, which will be actually involved in a transfer of amino acids from cytoplasm to the site of synthesis. Okay. Now you will say कि हाँ मतलब इन सब में actually मतलब you actually अभी हम लोग इसको separately पढ़ रहे हैं, but whenever we will be studying the process of transcription and translation in your 12th standard, you will find a single diagram जहाँ पे तुम लोग को mRNA दिखेगा, tRNA दिखेगा और rRNA या फिर राइबोसोम भी दिखेगा. It's a very complex process and that's why I'm just stopping myself to explain it right now, because I am 100% sure transcription translation at this point will go bouncer. So just try to understand that transcription is the process by which DNA is converted into mRNA. Translation is the process by which mRNA is converted into protein. That's it. Uska mechanism, how it works and all, we will be studying in the 12th standard. इतना सबको सब कुछ क्लियर है? Any doubts till now? Yes, no, सब बाउंसर है, वापस करो, कुछ नहीं, या फिर हम लोग सो रहे थे? What? If you understood, just give me a hand raise. Let me see. Just raise your hands if you are understood, and if you are not understanding, that's fine. I can't even see a single hand, so it means सब लोग सो रहे थे क्या? I'm asking again, तुम लोग को समझा है या नहीं समझा है? Yes or no? Just raise your hands अगर समझा है. समझा है तो हाथ ऊपर करो, so that I will get to know कि सबने समझा, कितने लोग को समझा है. यार तुम लोग को कुछ समझ में आ भी रहा है या नहीं?
सर नहीं हो रहे रे सर.
Yes sir, करे raise hand.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so maybe some issues from there. So बोलो वैसे. I'm thinking कि मैं शायद मेरा आवाज नहीं जा रहा है, कुछ हो रहा है. Don't know. No worries. Okay, but I hope सबको समझा है. नहीं समझा है तो please ask again the way you want. Okay. So that's all about the nucleic acid part, जिसमें हम लोगों ने RNA, DNA cover up कर दिया. Okay. So now we will begin the last important biomolecule, which is nothing but, where is my slides? Okay, sorry, which is nothing but the enzymes. Okay, enzymes क्या है? Enzymes are nothing but the proteins, mainly proteins ही है. So before starting the part of enzymes, I hope you are reading, right? तुम लोग को पढ़ना है. Just don't rely on the lectures कि हाँ ये बंदा आएगा कुछ तो बोलेगा जाएगा. No, please brush up or read at least once. I won't say कि by heart करो and कुछ भी बहुत करो. No, but just read. So if you at any point, if you feel कि ये तेजस ने कुछ तो अलग बोला है या फिर मुझे नहीं समझ रहा है या फिर there is a kind of difference in what is given in a book and what I'm saying, you should always raise a point so that we will have a discussion about it. Okay, I hope that's clear. So now begin with the oh shit. ठीक है, don't worry. So मैंने एक lecture में last lecture में homework दिया था, and I had asked all of you to solve these questions. So I hope all of you had done this question. If a DNA is 100 kilobase pair in a size, what will be the length of DNA?
सर मीटर में करना था ना?
हाँ, मीटर, नैनोमीटर, एंगस्ट्रॉम, whatever you feel comfortable. Hello,
Yes.
सब मिला
यस सर किया.
Yeah, very good, very good, very good. So I hope now सबको ये टाइप के questions अगर आए एग्जाम में in a entrance or anywhere, you will be able to solve this kind of questions, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Very good. The second type of question जो हम लोग ने देखे थे, that was the percentage of the nucleotides कि अगर adenine 30 है तो बाकी कितने रहेंगे and like that. So even I hope all are clear with that type of questions also.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes.
So these are quite easy. Now in the next class I will explain you about the third type of question which can be possible based on the things which we are doing. जो कि मैंने आज try भी किया था, but I understood थोड़ा mess हो रहा है, तो I will put up a proper slides for that. Don't worry. Okay. So आज हमने 3 types of RNA study किए थे, messenger, ribosomal RNA. So I am giving you next homework. You have to draw a diagram of tRNA, mRNA, rRNA. tRNA is very very important. उसका labeling is very very important. So don't take it lightly. Please draw it properly in your book. Okay. mRNA, tRNA are very easy. mRNA में है ही क्या draw करने के लिए? सिर्फ one line and you need to write initiation and termination and all things. Okay. So I hope you understand that fact. And rRNA is not that complicated. But tRNA is little bit complicated because उसका labeling बहुत ज़्यादा है. So I expect you all to draw these 3 diagrams. And we will discuss about this in the next class. Okay, this is for you also because हम लोग अभी अगर हम लोग ऑफलाइन होते तो obviously I would have asked you to draw in a class, but अभी नहीं है तो तुम्हें खुद से draw करना पड़ेगा. So that's why giving you it as a homework. Now the last important part of this particular chapter, that is enzyme. Okay, very 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 important. So what are enzymes? What do you know about enzymes? ये मैंने अभी भी मतलब हम लोगों ने बहुत बार डिस्कस किया ये एंजाइम वो एंजाइम, पर होता क्या एंजाइम? What are enzymes?
Biocatalyst.
I think everyone, whatever, whoever, जो भी होगा, one word will always come फटाक से in your mind. Enzymes are biocatalysts. What is catalyst?
speeds up the rate
Speed
of
up the reaction.
Doesn't take part.
Okay, so I had 2 lines.
takes part but little gets
but remain कुछ बिगाड़ता नहीं है.
नहीं सर पार्ट नहीं लेता वो पर स्पीड बढ़ती है.
Okay.
part लेते हैं सर.
Yeah, wait. So
Effect नहीं होता.
Yeah, let me explain now. So you all are right. Okay, enzyme is a biocatalyst. It's catalyst मतलब the one which actually increases the speed of reaction. Okay, so that's the correct point. Next there is a kind of controversy. एक ने बोला कि वो part नहीं लेता, एक ने बोला वो part लेता. So the thing is, enzymes do take part in a reaction, whereas they will not get consumed in a reaction. तो वो रिएक्शन में पार्ट लेता है, वो रिएक्शन का स्पीड बढ़ाता है, बट वो खुद उसमें इन्वॉल्व नहीं होता है, वो उसका कोई कम जना नहीं होता है. एट द लास्ट एंजाइम विल बी रीजनरेटेड. सो आई विल टेल यू एग्जैक्टली कैसे होता है, वो ये सब हम लोग को पढ़ना है इन दिस चैप्टर. बट यू ऑल आर राइट, इट इज अ बायोकैटालिस्ट एंड it does take part in a reaction but does not get consumed in a reaction. Okay, it just affect the rate of a reaction, but it have no effect on the equilibrium state of a reaction. Even that is an important point from the entrance point of view. Okay, so now ये enzyme का जो फंडा था, it was actually started back long when the scientist known as Edward Bucknell, who was working on something like yeast. I hope you all know what is yeast. Yeast is of simple eukaryotic cells from the fungi kingdom basically. Okay, so he was working on a yeast because we all know yeast is very common thing. सब लोग fermentation product हम लोग सभी खाते हैं, तो fermentation में बहुत commonly use होता है in a bakery products वगैरह. Okay, so then he was actually working on fermentation and all, and at that time he found this particular term enzyme. Okay, why? Because it was something he found that कि okay, yeast के पास ऐसा कुछ तो है which is actually helping it to ferment or actually helping it to do a particular reaction. ऐसा कुछ तो उसके पास है.
which is actually making the process fast and all. So that's why he coined the term enzyme. Okay, so the word enzyme itself, that's why, because it was found in yeast. So enzyme, in matlab in, zyma matlab yeast. So inside yeast, जिसको हमने find किया था, that is enzyme. Now the term is widely acceptable all over the world, and it is not just restricted to the yeast, but all the organisms and all the living beings on the earth. But just because it was discovered in the yeast, we have this name enzyme. Okay, so this is a history point of view. Basic properties तुम लोगों ने already बता ही दिया था. It is a biocatalyst. Okay, it does a very specific action. It's not like कि एक एंजाइम को मैं लेके आया और 4-5 काम करवा लिया. नहीं, एक एंजाइम एक ही रिएक्शन को कैटालाइज कर सकता है. Just imagine in your body, just not your body, in your single cell, thousands of reactions takes place. Okay, I'm using the word thousands, जो भी कम हो सकता है, but thousands of reactions takes place. So just imagine the number of enzymes which will be present in your single cell. एक दूसरे सेल में क्या क्या हो सकता है. Okay, that is just other side of the thing, but the important point is like they are very specific in their action. Okay, and they work under specific conditions. So all the enzymes जो मेरे body के अंदर present है और मेरे typical metabolic reactions carry out कर रहे हैं, they all will be working only at the body temperature, because that is the best temperature at which they work. अगर मेरे बॉडी का टेम्परेचर बढ़ गया इन सेंस नॉट लाइक जैसे फीवर में 2-3 डिग्री सेल्सियस इधर उधर, वैसे नहीं, very high. So there is a typical range जहाँ पे enzymes will be functional. There is one specific temperature जहाँ पे उसका activity will be maximum, but there is a range जहाँ पे वो अपने आप मतलब वो काम कर सकते हैं. Okay, that's why I have used the word works at a specific temperature, mostly optimum activity or a maximum activity at a one single temperature, but it is functional over a range of temperature. Let's say 33 to 37 ऐसे range में वो काम करता है. Okay, then there comes some term like substrate. जब जहाँ पे हम लोग enzyme word सुनेंगे वहाँ पे हम लोग को substrate word भी add करना ही पड़ता है. Why? Because substrate is a material जहाँ पे actually enzyme काम करता है. So substrate, I can say in a normal chemistry word, substrate is nothing but the reactant which is there which is taking part in the reaction on which the enzyme is acting. Okay, in a biological terms, हम लोग reactant को generally substrate बोलते हैं. The substance on which the enzymes act and break it down or convert it into some other kind of material. So that is a substrate. Now the enzymes जो हमारे body के अंदर है, they can be of two important types, endoenzymes and the exoenzymes. The name itself, endo अंदर रहेगा, exo मतलब बाहर के भीतर रहेगा. So what are endoenzymes? Endoenzymes are the enzymes which actually act within the cell. Okay, मतलब intracellular रहते हैं, intracellular position रहते हैं. Okay, so they are actually present within the cell in which they actually synthesize. Okay, मतलब जहाँ पे उन्होंने बनाया वहीं पर रहते हैं, पर जहाँ पे वो बनते हैं, synthesize होते हैं, उसी सेल के अंदर वो रहते हैं, and these cells are called as endoenzyme or intracellular enzyme. The exoenzymes are the enzymes which actually works outside the cell. Okay, so वो एक सेल में बनेंगे, but they will be released outside for their function. Okay, and such enzymes are called as exoenzymes or extracellular enzymes. Okay, अगर examples देना चाहूँ तो in case of endoenzymes, the enzymes which are produced in chloroplast and mitochondria. These are the enzymes which are actually present, which are actually synthesized in a chloroplast and mitochondria, and they are generally utilized in there only. So chloroplast में क्या होता है? So all the photosynthesis reaction, उसमें जो भी enzymes present utilize होते हैं, all of them are actually synthesized or produced in the chloroplast only. In case of mitochondria, all the enzymes which are involved in a respiration, mainly Krebs cycle and the ETS, electron transport system, are synthesized in mitochondria and utilized in mitochondria only. So such kind of enzymes are actually called as endoenzymes. Whereas there are some enzymes which are actually produced inside the cell and released. So such kind of things, this kind of enzymes are very much common in case of microbes. When I say microbes, it includes bacteria, it includes fungus. Okay, how this works? Because this particular microbe they actually release. तो fungus तुम लोगों ने देखा रहेगा. अगर एक normal bread को भी हमने open रख दिया थोड़े दिन के लिए, it will start getting a fungus. But bread is kind of complex material. मतलब it's not very simple. It's not really a glucose जो fungus easily खा सके. So what a particular fungus does, it actually secretes out an enzymes which will break down the bread and then it will actually take up the simple components from there. So that's how the enzyme. There are many others. So you will see fungus on a पेड़ का bark, the woodwork part. Very commonly it grows because this fungus can actually produce such a complex enzymes which can break down the complex polymers as well. So such kind of enzymes are actually called as exoenzyme जो बनाए जाते हैं सेल के अंदर, but they are actually released outside the cell for a different functions. Examples: enzymes produced by the fungi. Okay, now this is just an overview of a typical enzyme. उसके बाद आता है नेचर ऑफ एंजाइम. वो क्या है? ओके, मतलब कैसे बना है ना. ओके, सो बेस्ड ऑन केमिकल कंपोजिशन enzymes can be of two types. Okay, either it can be proteinaceous enzyme, मतलब completely made up of proteins. Okay, or it can be conjugated enzymes. Okay, so now what is proteinaceous enzyme? So basically it is an enzyme which will whenever it will break or it is composed of completely a protein part, मतलब सिर्फ amino acid से बनता है. Okay, and it will act on a particular components or a protein that will split into small components. So protease is an enzyme which is actually break down the proteins. Okay, it is completely purely made up of the amino acid. There is no other component is present, and that's why it is called as purely proteinaceous enzyme. On the second part, there is a conjugated enzyme. I hope you can just relate it. This is very much something related to what ये सब हम लोग कहीं और पे भी पढ़ा है in a similar way. Sorry.
Conjugated proteins.
Yes, simple proteins, conjugated proteins, derived proteins. In a similar way, यहाँ पे भी. So you just need to relate all these facts. Okay, it is something same. Just you need to understand कि वो कैसे. So similar thing. Conjugated proteins क्या होता है? What are conjugated proteins?
Consisting of simple proteins.
prosthetic group,
Non-protein substance.
Yeah, so the non-protein substance is also called as prosthetic group. The same thing is here. So this is a conjugated enzyme is nothing but the enzyme which is made up of a protein part to which a non-protein substance, or we can say a prosthetic group, is attached. Okay, so this is called as a conjugated enzyme. Okay, now this prosthetic group can be of different types. We will talk about that also. Okay, but then why it is important in case of conjugated protein? Because it makes the enzyme active. अगर मैंने conjugated protein में से prosthetic group निकाल दिया, then the enzyme will not be in a functional state, or we can say it is inactive. It becomes inactive. Okay, so the enzyme, the conjugated enzymes requires a prosthetic group in order to be an active enzyme. Okay, in such cases, the proteinaceous part of the enzyme जो रहता है, that is called as a apoenzyme. Please note it down. It is very important. Very commonly asked questions. Okay, the protein part of an enzyme is called as apoenzyme, and when the apoenzyme is attached to the prosthetic group, it is called as a holoenzyme. Okay, only protein part, apoenzyme plus prosthetic group is a holoenzyme. Don't get confused in the terms apo and holo. People do very good mistake. Apo and holo में apo को holo का definition, holo को apo का definition. No, apo मतलब the proteinaceous part of an enzyme, and holo मतलब whenever a prosthetic group is attached to the apoenzyme, it is called as holoenzyme. Clear? Okay, so now even these prosthetic groups of the conjugated enzymes are of different types. Okay, and these different types are nothing but coenzymes, cofactors, and activators. So there are different types of prosthetic groups in terms of conjugated enzyme. जैसे कि हमने देखा था in case of conjugated protein, there were either carbohydrate was there or some lipid was there or DNA was there. Similar way में यहाँ पे कुछ और other types of materials are present, and those are categorized or classified into 3 groups named as coenzymes, cofactor, and activator. Okay, so what are these prosthetic groups? So these are nothing but any organic or an inorganic component which are required for an activity of an enzyme. जैसे कि मैंने बोला कि अगर मैंने conjugated enzyme से prosthetic group को निकाल दिया, it becomes inactive. So these are the organic or inorganic compounds which are actually present. Okay, so when the compound or let's say component or a prosthetic group is organic compound, okay, and which are actually tightly attached to the protein part, then we call it as a coenzyme. Okay, organic compound which is tightly attached to the protein part is called as coenzyme. And then examples are NAD, FMN, FADP, NADP. जो नए terms I don't know सुना है. if तुम लोग का photosynthesis chapter start हुआ रहेगा, so you must have heard these terms: nicotinamide, adenine dinucleotide, flavin mononucleotides. These are the specific reducing components, reducing coenzymes we call them. they उनका काम होता है कि कोई भी compound को reduce करना, कोई भी compound को oxidize करना और खुद reduce होना. So these are basically reducing components. Okay, so we will learn about this. Basically you will get to know more about NAD, FMN whenever you will be studying the chapter photosynthesis and respiration. Okay, so that's about coenzymes. क्या है ये? Organic compounds है and tightly attached होते हैं. On other hand, there is another category called as cofactor, which are inorganic components or let's say inorganic ions which are loosely attached to the protein part. Okay, just opposite to the coenzyme, which are loosely attached to the protein part. Okay, and it includes number of ions which actually act as the cofactor. So you will find magnesium, copper, zinc, iron, manganese, and there are many more such ions which are actually present in a cell and act as a cofactor. Okay, one of the very good example is the iron, which is a cofactor for enzyme catalase, manganese, which is a cofactor for enzyme peptidase. Catalase and peptidase, abhi I know तुमने ये term सुना है, नहीं सुना है, I don't know. Peptidase, some things which actually break down the peptide bonds. Catalase is an enzyme which is produced by a particular organism in order to whenever there is an oxidative stress and also basically you must have heard something like hydrogen peroxide, H2O2 and all. So whenever a cell needs to break down this H2O2, which is actually a toxic component to the cell, it uses the enzyme catalase, which actually breaks down it into H2O and O2. Okay, so this is basically an enzyme which is more of protective kind of thing, जो cells को protect करता है from different damages, especially by the oxygen species. Okay, even there are some metal cofactors which are present, and they are actually very important for activation of an enzyme, and such components, such ions are called as activator. So these are the 3 important types of prosthetic groups which can be coenzymes, cofactors and activators. Okay, इतना समझा है? कोई डाउट्स है? कुछ पूछना है?